My dad grew up in New York, and all of his siblings, they were dentists and architects, and one was an engineer. But for some reason, my father really took to making images. My father could see the temperature of light that has taken me a lifetime to try and learn, but he could see it naturally, and the pictures that he made were just excellently in focus and spot on, and of course they live today and they'll live forever. All of my relatives wanted him to go into the fishing industry like they were in. And my father, he wanted to become a photographer, an artist. And so they scraped together and they sent him to a school called the Antonelli School of Art in Philadelphia, where he graduated 4th of his class, and he moved back to Fort Walton Beach, and he became the only professional photographer in the area. He was a freelance photographer. And so he got all the newspaper work, all the police work, all the building work, the advertising work. My father had a very high security clearance. Consequently, he went on to become a staff photographer for the U.S. Embassy, and he worked with the Pentagon around the world with offices in Asia and Singapore and Hong Kong. He took pictures of dignitaries and heads of states and kings and queens, and we also have Harry Truman when he visited Pensacola. We have a collection now of 92,000 images. The Henderson will put on display 170 of these images with the hopes of giving the guest a glimpse of what Destin was like in the early days, days I call BC, before condos. The work that will cause his name to be remembered and honored is the work that he did leaving our history behind. Virtually we have every event, every society. Gosh, I have every portrait, every baby picture that was ever born. It's just a vast collection of history. And for us, particularly in this area, that's a big deal for us to be able to go back and look at those. For generations and generations, Destin has been a destination for tourists and vacation. What I find is when these pictures are in public view, people will walk up to them and they'll tell their story, their memory of Destin, when they came here, what it was like for them. And we all have different levels of this memory of Destin. Before my father passed away, he called me in, told me that he wanted to give me his image collection, his entire copyright for everything that he's ever done. And he told me that the Fort Walton Beach collection was the oldest of all the collection, and it had to be preserved. One of the promises I made to him is that I would save that particular collection and somehow try to find a way of giving it back to this area. And I get a lot of gratification in just knowing that some of the things our family has done has brought so much joy to other families.